When you think of the Maldives, an image probably springs to mind. It's often one of perfect white sand beaches, almost glowing under a brilliant sun. You might picture wooden huts standing on stilts over impossibly clear turquoise water. It's the classic picture of paradise, a dream destination for honeymooners and holidaymakers seeking escape, and for good reason. The beauty here is staggering, almost surreal. It's a place that seems to have been painted with the brightest colors imaginable. Flying in, you see it from the air, countless tiny islands scattered across the vast Indian Ocean, like jewels on a blue velvet cloth. It's a sight that never fails to take your breath away, promising a world far removed from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. But that postcard image, as stunning as it is, only tells part of the story. The Maldives is so much more than just a collection of luxury resorts. It's a nation, a proper country with a rich history, a unique culture, and a population of 500,000 people. It's a place where communities have thrived for centuries, living in harmony with the sea. These are the Maldivian people, whose lives are deeply intertwined with the ocean that surrounds them. To truly understand this place, you have to look beyond the infinity pools and the overwater villas. You have to venture onto the local islands where the real heart of the Maldives beats and discover a side of this paradise that most visitors, sadly, never get to see. This nation is one of the most geographically dispersed countries on the planet. It's made up of over 1,000 coral islands grouped into 26 natural atolls. An atoll is a ring-shaped coral reef, island, or series of islets. These rings of coral grew on the sides of ancient underwater volcanoes, which have long since sunk back into the ocean. What's left are these incredible circular lagoons and the tiny, low-lying islands that sit upon them. In fact, the word atoll itself comes from the local Dhivehi language, Atholhu. It's one of the few words the world has borrowed from the Maldivian tongue, a testament to the unique geography that has shaped every aspect of life here for millennia. My journey here is about exploring both worlds. It's about experiencing the incredible luxury that has made the Maldives famous, but also about peeling back that glossy layer to understand the real country underneath. I want to meet the people who call this fragile paradise home, to understand their daily routines, their challenges, and their hopes for the future. The Maldives is a nation on the front line of climate change, a place of breathtaking beauty, but also profound vulnerability. It's a story of contrasts, of ancient traditions meeting modern tourism, and of a people fighting to save their homeland from the rising seas. It's a journey into the heart of an ocean nation, far beyond the familiar blue waters. The Maldivian experience is split into two very distinct worlds. On one side, you have the private resort islands. These are the places you see in the glossy travel brochures. Each resort typically occupies its own entire island, creating a self-contained bubble of luxury. When tourists land at the main international airport near the capital, Malé, they are usually whisked away directly to these islands by speedboat or seaplane. They might spend their entire holiday without ever setting foot on a local island where Maldivian citizens actually live. The resort islands are meticulously designed for comfort and escape, offering pristine beaches, gourmet food, and endless activities, all tailored for international visitors. It's a carefully curated version of paradise. On the other side, you have the inhabited islands. There are around 200 of these, and they are where the Maldivian people live their lives. Here, things are very different. You won't find overwater bungalows or all-inclusive bars. Instead, you'll find mosques, schools, local cafes called hotars, and streets made of compacted sand. The houses are often painted in bright, cheerful colors, and neighbors know each other by name. Life here moves at a slower, more traditional pace, governed by the call to prayer and the rhythm of the tides. Until fairly recently, these islands were largely off-limits to tourists, but a change in government policy a few years ago allowed for the opening of local guest houses, offering a more authentic and affordable way to experience the country. The contrast between these two types of islands is stark. A resort island is an economic powerhouse, a finely tuned machine designed to generate revenue and provide flawless service. Everything is manicured, from the raked sand to the perfectly placed palm trees. The staff, who are often a mix of Maldivians and foreign workers, live in separate staff quarters, working long hours to maintain the illusion of effortless perfection for the guests. It's a world built for temporary residents, a fantasy land where every need is catered for. The focus is entirely on the visitor's experience, creating an environment of pure relaxation and indulgence, shielded from the realities of the outside world. Visiting a local island, however, feels like stepping into the real Maldives. Here, you see children playing football in the street, fishermen mending their nets by the harbor, and women gathering in the shade to chat. You can hear the sound of the muezzin from the local mosque and smell the aroma of curry cooking in someone's kitchen. This is a living, breathing community, not a tourist attraction. It offers a chance to connect with the culture on a much deeper level, to eat where the locals eat, and to see how life is truly lived in this island nation. It's a more grounded, less polished, but arguably more rewarding experience that reveals the true soul of the Maldives. The day on a local Maldivian island often begins before the sun even peaks over the horizon. The first call to prayer, Fajr, echoes softly through the quiet streets, a gentle summons that marks the start of a new day. For many, especially the fishermen, the morning starts even earlier. They are the lifeblood of the community. Long before tourists on the resort islands are even thinking about breakfast, these men are already out on the water in their traditional fishing boats, known as donis. They are heading out to the reefs and the deep channels in search of tuna, the cornerstone of the Maldivian diet and economy for centuries. Their connection to the sea is profound. It is their provider, their workplace, and their heritage. As the sun climbs higher, the island slowly awakens. Children in neat uniforms make their way to school, their laughter filling the air. The streets, often unpaved and made of soft white sand, are swept clean by residents. Small shops open their doors, selling everything from fresh produce to household goods. In the local hotas, men gather for a morning coffee and mashuni, a traditional breakfast of shredded smoked tuna mixed with coconut, onion and chili, eaten with a flatbread called roshi. It's a time for catching up on news, discussing the day's plans, or simply enjoying the communal spirit that is so central to island life. There's a gentle, unhurried pace to everything. The afternoon brings a different rhythm. As the heat of the day intensifies, life slows down. People seek shade under the broad leaves of breadfruit trees or retreat into their homes. This is often a time for rest or for indoor chores. You might see women sitting together on juali fati, traditional woven chairs, creating intricate lacework or weaving mats from dried palm leaves. These crafts are not just hobbies. They are important skills passed down through generations, a tangible link to the past. The harbour becomes a focal point again later in the afternoon as the community awaits the return of the donis, hoping for a successful catch that will provide for their families and the island. As evening approaches, the island comes alive once more. The temperature drops and a cool breeze blows in from the sea. Families gather on the beach to watch the spectacular sunset, a daily ritual that never loses its magic. Children play in the shallow lagoon waters, their silhouettes stark against the orange and purple sky. The day's catch is brought ashore, cleaned and distributed. The smell of wood smoke and grilling fish fills the air as families prepare their evening meal. Life here is simple, but it is rich in community, tradition, and a deep abiding connection to the natural world that surrounds them on all sides. It's a world away from the curated luxury of the resorts. Stepping onto a Maldivian resort island is like entering another dimension. From the moment your seaplane gracefully lands on the calm lagoon or your speedboat docks at the jetty, you're enveloped in a world of impeccable service and breathtaking beauty. You're often greeted with a cool towel and a refreshing drink. Your luggage disappears as if by magic, and a personal butler or thakuru is assigned to cater to your every whim. The architecture itself is designed to impress, blending seamlessly with the natural environment. Overwater villas on stilts stretch out into the turquoise water like wooden tentacles, each with a private deck and steps leading directly into the ocean. It's an intoxicating first impression. The experience for a guest is one of almost total effortlessness. The days are unstructured, free to be filled with as much or as little activity as you desire. You can spend the morning snorkeling on the house reef, just a few steps from your villa, marveling at the colorful fish that dart among the coral. In the afternoon, you might indulge in a spa treatment in a pavilion overlooking the ocean, where the only sound is the gentle lapping of the waves. Dining is an event in itself, with multiple restaurants offering everything from Japanese teppanyaki to Italian classics, often served in stunning locations, on the beach, over the water, or even in an underwater restaurant surrounded by marine life. Everything is designed for privacy and exclusivity. Even when a resort is fully booked, it can feel like you have the entire island to yourself. The villas are spaced far apart, the beaches are long and empty, and there are countless quiet nooks to discover. If you want to explore, you can take a sunset cruise on a luxury yacht, go deep-sea fishing for marlin, or even have a private picnic arranged on a deserted sandbank. The staff seem to have a sixth sense, anticipating your needs before you even voice them. It's a level of pampering that is hard to comprehend until you experience it, a bubble of perfect, sun-drenched tranquility. But this perfection comes at a price, and not just a financial one. Creating and maintaining this level of luxury on a tiny, remote coral island is a monumental logistical challenge. Everything, from the bottled water and fine wines to the bed linen and building materials, has to be imported. Fresh water is produced through expensive desalination plants, and electricity is generated by diesel generators that run 24/7. Waste disposal is another huge issue. The resorts work hard to manage their environmental footprint, but the reality is that this model of tourism is incredibly resource-intensive, a stark contrast to the simple, sustainable way of life found on the nearby local islands. The true magic of the Maldives, for many, is not what you see on the islands, but what you find beneath the surface of the water. The moment you dip your head below the waves, you enter a completely different world. It's a silent, weightless kingdom, bursting with color and life. The water is so consistently warm and clear that visibility can often exceed 30 meters, making it feel like you are flying through an underwater cathedral. The coral reefs, the foundation of this entire nation, are the architects of this realm. They form intricate cities of stone, providing homes, food, and protection for a staggering diversity of marine creatures. It's a vibrant, bustling metropolis just below the surface. Diving or snorkeling here is like swimming through a giant living aquarium. You are surrounded by vast schools of fish that move as one, shimmering and shifting in the sunlight. You'll see elegant angelfish, brightly colored parrotfish munching on coral, and tiny comical clownfish hiding among the tentacles of an anemone. But it's the larger animals that often provide the most unforgettable encounters. The Maldives is one of the best places in the world to see manta rays, gentle giants that can have a wingspan of over 5 meters. Watching them glide effortlessly through the water, feeding on plankton, is a truly humbling and awe-inspiring experience that stays with you forever. The geography of the atolls creates unique underwater features that attract specific types of marine life. The channels, or conduits, that connect the inner lagoon to the open ocean act as highways for big fish. Strong currents flow through these gaps, bringing in nutrient-rich water and attracting predators. Divers can hook onto the reef and watch the show unfold as grey reef sharks, eagle rays, and huge schools of jackfish patrol the currents. These channel dives are thrilling, high-energy experiences that showcase the raw power and dynamism of the ocean ecosystem. It's a reminder that this is a wild place, not just a gentle paradise. Beyond the sharks and rays, the Maldives is also a global hotspot for whale sharks. These are the biggest fish in the sea, gentle, filter-feeding sharks that can grow up to 12 meters long. They are often seen cruising slowly near the surface, their huge mouths agape as they hoover up plankton. Swimming alongside one of these magnificent creatures is a bucket list experience for many. It connects you to the ocean in a profound way, leaving you with a deep sense of wonder and a powerful desire to protect these incredible animals and the fragile underwater world they call home. The health of these reefs and the abundance of this life is the true treasure of the Maldives. While the underwater world gets most of the attention, the life above the waves in the Maldives is equally fascinating and unique. The islands themselves are low-lying, rarely rising more than a couple of meters above sea level. This means the vegetation has had to adapt to sandy soil, salt spray, and occasional flooding. The most iconic plant is, of course, the coconut palm. It's more than just a tree here. It's a symbol of the nation, featured on its coat of arms. For centuries, it has been the tree of life for Maldivians, providing food, drink, oil, timber for building boats, and fronds for weaving roofs and baskets. Every part of the tree is used in some way. Beyond the palms, the islands are covered in a dense tangle of hardy, salt-tolerant vegetation. You'll find screw pines with their strange, propped-up roots, and the dense, leafy sea lettuce trees that provide much-needed shade along the coastlines. There are also beautiful flowering plants like hibiscus and frangipani, which add splashes of vibrant color to the island's green and white palette. In the wetter, marshy areas of some larger islands, you can even find small mangrove forests. These mangroves are incredibly important, acting as a natural coastal defense against erosion and serving as a vital nursery for many species of fish and crustaceans. The animal life on the islands is dominated by birds and reptiles. The Maldives is an important stopover point for migratory birds traveling along the Central Asian flyway, and birdwatchers can spot numerous species of shorebirds, herons and terns. The most common land bird is the Asian curlew, whose persistent melodic call is a constant soundtrack to island life. On the ground, you'll often see colourful geckos and garden lizards skittering across walls and tree trunks. Perhaps the most surprising residents are the large fruit bats, often called flying foxes. They can be seen in huge numbers at dusk, taking to the skies to feed on fruit, their leathery wings silhouetted against the twilight sky. The beaches themselves are also teeming with life, especially at night. Ghost crabs, which are almost transparent, scuttle across the sand, disappearing into their burrows in the blink of an eye. Hermit crabs of all sizes drag their borrowed shells along the shoreline in their endless search for a new, larger home. These small creatures play a crucial role in the beach ecosystem, cleaning up organic debris. The life on the land is more subtle than the vibrant chaos of the reef, but it is just as important. It's part of a delicate and interconnected web, where every plant and animal has its place in this fragile island paradise. The very thing that makes the Maldives so uniquely beautiful, its low-lying geography, is also its greatest vulnerability. With an average ground level of just 1.5 meters above sea level, this is the flattest country on Earth. This makes the nation exceptionally susceptible to the effects of climate change, particularly rising sea levels. For the people of the Maldives, this isn't a distant, abstract threat. It's a clear and present danger to their homes, their culture, and their very existence. The government has been one of the world's most vocal advocates for climate action, famously holding an underwater cabinet meeting in 2009 to highlight their plight to the world. The impacts are already being felt across the archipelago. Beach erosion is a major problem on many islands, with the sea slowly but surely eating away at the land. During seasonal high tides or storm surges, salt water can wash over entire islands, contaminating the thin layer of fresh water that sits beneath the ground and damaging crops like breadfruit and taro. This makes life increasingly difficult for local communities who rely on this water in agriculture. The rising sea temperatures also pose a mortal threat to the coral reefs, the bedrock of the nation's economy and its primary defense against the power of the waves. When sea temperatures get too high for too long, a phenomenon known as coral bleaching occurs. The coral expels the tiny algae that live within its tissues, causing it to turn completely white. If the water temperature returns to normal quickly, the coral can recover. But if the stress is prolonged, the coral will die, leaving behind a grey, lifeless skeleton. The Maldives has already experienced several mass bleaching events, which have devastated large areas of its once vibrant reefs. This not only affects the multi-billion-dollar tourism industry, but also the local fishing industry, as the fish that depend on the reef for food and shelter disappear. In response, the Maldivian government and local communities are fighting back with inspiring resilience and innovation. They are building coastal defenses like sea walls and breakwaters, though these are incredibly expensive. There is a strong focus on reef restoration projects, where conservationists grow new, more heat-resistant corals in underwater nurseries, and then transplant them onto damaged reefs. Many resorts are heavily involved in these efforts, employing marine biologists and running their own conservation programs. The country has also designated vast areas of its ocean territory as protected marine parks, including several UNESCO biosphere reserves, in an effort to safeguard this precious and fragile ecosystem for future generations. The culture of the Maldives is like a rich blanket made from many different colorful threads. These threads come from the various people who have made their home here over hundreds of years. Sailors and traders from places like Arabia, Africa, India, and Southeast Asia all left their mark, creating a truly special and lively mix of cultures. You can see this most clearly in the language Divehi. It has roots in an old Indian language called Sanskrit, but it also has many words that come from Arabic. The main religion here is Islam, which people started following in the 1100s, and it's a very important part of everyday life. The beautiful mosques you see on many of the local islands, some of them very old and built with detailed carvings in coral stone, really show how strong this faith is. Music and dancing are a big part of the culture too. The most famous and exciting performance is called Boduberu, which means big drum. It's a lively and rhythmic show that starts slowly and then gets faster and faster, building up to a wild, mesmerizing finish. A group of men, sometimes as many as 20, sit and sing. They're joined by a main singer and 3 or 4 drummers. As the drumming gets more intense, dancers from the group, and even people watching, might start moving in a trance-like way. The rhythms sound very African, and it's thought that sailors brought them to the islands many centuries ago. It's a raw, powerful way to show the spirit of the islands, and you can really feel it deep inside you. As you might expect, Maldivian food mostly uses 2 main things. Fish, especially tuna and coconut. These are the main ingredients in almost every traditional dish. A classic meal is garudia, which is a clear fish soup, often eaten with rice, lime, chili, and onions. Curries, or ria, are also very popular. They're made with fish or chicken, and a rich mix of coconut milk and spices, which shows how much influence nearby Sri Lanka and India have had. For snacks, Maldivians love hedheka, which are lots of small, tasty, savory, and sweet treats, a bit like Spanish tapas. You can find these in local cafes, with popular choices including fried fish balls, vegetable spring rolls, and sweet coconut pastries. The Maldivian people are also very proud of their craftsmanship. On some islands, you can still find skilled workers using techniques that are hundreds of years old. This includes thundu kuna, which is the art of weaving beautiful mats from local reeds. These mats often have complicated geometric patterns. Another famous craft is lacquer work, known as laya lajahut. Here, wooden containers and vases are carved and then covered with many layers of colored lacquer to create delicate and intricate designs. And of course, the doni, which is the traditional boat used for many different things, is a masterpiece of craftsmanship all on its own. Its unique curved front and strong build are perfectly suited to the Maldivian seas. It's a beautiful and useful symbol of the country's lasting connection with the ocean. After journeying through these islands, from the dazzling luxury of the resorts to the quiet, resilient heart of the local communities, one thing becomes incredibly clear. The Maldives is so much more than a holiday destination. It is a precious and irreplaceable part of our world's natural and cultural heritage. Its beauty is profound, both above and below the water, but it is a fragile beauty. This is a nation living on the knife edge of the climate crisis, a canary in the coal mine for the rest of the planet. The fate of these low-lying islands is a stark warning for all of us about the consequences of a warming world. Protecting this place is a shared responsibility. The Maldivian people are doing their part, showing incredible strength and ingenuity in the face of an existential threat. They are restoring their reefs, protecting their marine life, and championing their cause on the global stage. But they cannot do it alone. The future of the Maldives depends on the actions of the global community to reduce carbon emissions and slow the pace of climate change. It also depends on the choices we make as travelers. By choosing to visit responsibly, supporting local guest houses, respecting the culture, and contributing to conservation efforts, we can help ensure that tourism is a force for good. Visiting the Maldives can be a transformative experience. It's a chance to witness a level of natural beauty that is almost beyond belief, to swim with gentle giants of the ocean, and to disconnect from the frantic pace of modern life. But it can also be a profound education. It's an opportunity to understand a unique culture that has been shaped by the sea for over 2,000 years. It's a chance to see firsthand the impacts of climate change and to be inspired by the people who are fighting so bravely to save their homeland. It connects you to the planet in a way that few other places can. Ultimately, the Maldives is a place of hope. It is a testament to the resilience of both nature and the human spirit. It reminds us of what we stand to lose if we fail to act, but it also shows us what is possible when people work together to protect what they love. Whether you are dreaming of a future visit or simply admiring it from afar, the story of the Maldives is a story for all of humanity. It is a precious legacy, a string of pearls in the vast Indian Ocean that is worth every effort to preserve for the generations to come. It's a paradise, yes, but it's also a home, and it is a home worth saving.